An angry dwarf YouTuber called Kai Cenat that did an impromptu out of nowhere supposed free giveaway for PS5s in New York City. We're gonna flame broil him, but at the same time, he's only 21 years old, right? So he has plenty of time to right his wrongs and maybe act more accordingly in life, right? But for those that don't know, like I said, YouTuber, 21 years old. I believe he was born in the Bronx, New York, which is an embarrassment because I'm a Staten Island boy, but I also spent some time in the Bronx. And usually Bronx dudes ain't 120-pound dwarfs who cause riots. He's worth about $9 million currently. You know, shout out to him. Built a little empire, pun intended. Sagittarius. All right, that's my kid's mother's my first kid's mother's sign. So, you know, they're known to be no matter whether they're male, female, white, or black. So, you know, he got strikes against them there. So for those that don't know, he's actually the son of my man Hotshot Swanson, the Harlem Globetrotter, dwarf legend. That's his pop. You can see here, they actually got a little, a dual autograph poster that they sell. I think the guy, Kai, sells it on his website. Hotshot Swanson does the same. When you need a step stool to go pee-pee, you know, it's not the best, you know, and that's what he does. You know how these little YouTubers, they got minions. I've seen it, you know, when he's out places and he says, I have to go pee-pee. And one of his little, little minions grab a little step stool, bring it into the bathroom for him. Mind you, I've never seen any lick of talent from the dude either. You got to respect the talent of live streaming and, you know, being able to monetize it. You got to respect it to some degree, but I haven't heard no songs. I haven't seen anything. You know what I mean? It's just one of them new age YouTubers said, there's a chance for free PS5s in New York out of nowhere. You announced that in the biggest city in the world, you know? And then what do? They tear up the city. They tear up the city. And I'm from New York, you know? And I remember growing up, you know, I seen all sides of New York. I seen the Dinkins era, the Koch era, and then I seen the Giuliani, Pataki era when they were going crazy with the police state kind of tactics in New York City. But when you see things like this happen, you know, there's part of it that makes you think, you know, it wasn't right the way Giuliani and Pataki handled crime in the city, but it's very unlikely things like this will be happening. So let's watch a little, you know, couple of videos, get a little backstory on the situation.
Hey, thanks for checking out.
So let's check it out.
And here's what we know tonight. According to police, Kai Cenat will be charged with multiple counts, including at least 2 counts of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly. At least 3 officers were injured and 65 people have been arrested. We have live team coverage tonight. Stephanie Bertini is taking a look at all that damage done to the neighborhood and businesses. But let's start with Teresa Priola live in Union Square with the latest from police. Teresa.
Yeah, Natasha, Union Square is back to normal tonight, as you can see behind me, and that is remarkable considering what unfolded here just a few short hours ago. What began as basically a pop-up giveaway by a celebrity YouTuber devolved into a massive riot involving teenagers and kids.
It became a total mayhem. We were like huddled behind a tree because people started running and there was really no which way for us to go.
Which started as a peaceful PlayStation giveaway in Union Square by the wildly popular Twitch and YouTube star Kai Cenat, devolved into this pandemonium, the likes of which we don't usually see even in New York City.
I mean, very big riot. It was just out of control. It was just a whole movie, mad people, a lot of mad chaos.
What do you think's gonna happen? You announce a pop-up giveaway, midday, 4 p.m., New York City. You know, how many of your YouTubers, right? How many of your followers are low-income people or people without money? We don't know. How many of them are being greedy, you know, and just trying to get a free PS5? We don't know. But at the end of the day, I don't even think any damn PS5s were given away. You know, I'm pretty sure shit went so left that no PS5s were given away. All right.
Yeah. The NYPD got wind of the event around 12:30. At that time, only about 300 people were here. For a long time, it was peaceful. But then Cenat's post went viral. Thousands flooded Union Square, and when Cenat showed up, chaos ensued.
This event grew exponentially.
rapidly, fast. And again, this is the power of social media.
According to the NYPD, once Union Square was wall-to-wall kids, there was no stopping the destruction. Subway service was suspended in the area. Streets were shut down. Construction equipment was used as weapons. Bottles were hurled. Some thought they heard gunshots. Turns out it was firecrackers. It was riotous conduct verging on illegal and dangerous behavior.
Young people destroyed our vehicles. My car's destroyed. Commissioner Daughtry's car is destroyed. Other police vehicles are destroyed. They destroyed food carts. They destroyed stores. When we started clearing the young people out here, young people ran through the streets of this city, taking plates off people who are outside dining, throwing their plates at police officers. Man.
Cenat has yet to make a formal statement on any of his social channels. He's still being questioned by the NYPD, who say charges are forthcoming.
Multiple counts, at least 2 counts of inciting a riot.
65 people were arrested today, 30 of them underage. Cenat boasts over 20 million subscribers on
30 underage kids arrested. Think about the irresponsibility alone. You know, and I guess it's hard, you know, how responsible can you expect a 21-year-old that's worth $9 million to be? Multicultural incels. Don't worry, everybody. We got equality. We got incels of every culture now. Trying to get PS5s, breaking fences, tearing up the Union Square. You know, I don't know if that's a train station or just the gazebo that's there. And look at this craziness right here. Look at this. On top of the truck. This dude is in that truck and just peels off. Peels off. 7, 8, 9 people on the truck. Watch, people are going to start flying off. And they doing 25, 30. They're not doing 2, 3 miles per hour. These dudes are boogieing right now. Dad, look at this. Look at this. Shit look crazy. So like fleas on a dog. Just flying down a block. Oh, there goes. Manuel just fell off. We're letting things happen like they would happen in the 70s and the 80s. Fuck Julia. I got my ass beat because of Giuliani's policing tactics in the in the 90s. This would have never happened in Florida. Not that damn sure not now. Not now. Not with the way Florida, not with the way Florida is governing currently. That's all he was doing. He was just giving them a ride. They'd have their Metro car. It just sent the whole city into a frenzy. Sent the whole damn city into a frenzy. This dude got arrested on the bus. He's over here on the bus cheesing too, smiling. With this new age era that has happened, right? Like the past 15, 20 years, right? I call it like the Kardashian era, right? Where you don't have any discernible talent from jump. So your talent is your ability to garner attention or get attention. 30 underage people taken into custody, multiple cops hurt, multiple injuries of civilians, 65 arrests, and he's cheesing in the back of the bus. Unfortunately, the commodity of attention literally just caused New York to get wrecked. Store owners, property damage, civilians injured, underage kids arrested, right? Cops injured. Because this dude wants to put it into a frenzy for some damn attention. What percentage of him? Because some part of him knew. I mean, I believe the kid has 8 million followers on, what do we got here? What's the number? 6.5 on Twitch and 3.6 million on YouTube. So you're talking about 10 million total subscribers, right? New York City is a huge city, right? So, and he's from New York City. So you got to figure, without blinking, a couple million of those subscribers come from the New York area, the tri-state area. So how much of him knew it was going to break into this melee? And that's probably part of the reasoning for, the inciting a riot charges, because you have to be aware that this is a possibility, right? When you have 10 million followers and a lot of them are young, a free PS5? Come on, man. You're going to have greedy people show up. You're going to have broke people show up. You got to have everyone show up. Shit, I might show up. He's in the bus smiling. He knows he's about to get 1 billion views over the next how many weeks. People are also going to celebrate this. New York City has went a little bit crazy with how lenient they've gotten with how they enforce laws now and how they, and like I said, you don't want the Giuliani era, right? Where they were just beating. I got beat. How many beatings during the Giuliani era and the policing of that era? But this makes you think about it just a little bit more. Like, you don't want the Dinkins era either. And this is getting close to Mayor Dinkins status with the way they're just letting shit fly nowadays, and listen, I don't know if the kid's going to do any jail time. If I had to bet, I'd be very surprised if he does any real jail time. Let's give him credit for one thing here. If we're going to flame broil him, we got to give him credit here. In this video, there's a female follower of his. I'm not sure if she's young. She seems pretty young. I don't know if she's underage, but she's, the riot's going down. The riot that he caused, right? So let's not give him too much credit, for doing the right thing here. But at least he took the time, and tried to help this young lady that was having a problem breathing. That's the only positive thing you're gonna hear from me this whole damn video. This talentless midget, pardon me. When I was talking about midget, I was talking about the size of the coffee I get at Starbucks. That's the smallest coffee. I would never use it as a pejorative term. All right. The son of Hotshot Swanson. All right. My old 5'4", 120-pound nerd. They used to call us crazy crackers in the hills. Who's crazy now, motherfuckers? Oh, all of them. The crazy crackers in the hills and the hood dudes and the Antifas and the far right. We're all crazy, And that's the point with all this shit, right? It's like that's why there has to be laws, right? And you have to enforce the laws. And, the cops can't have their hands cuffed when a city starts, devolving into chaos. You can't have your hands tied. You got to be able to enforce the laws. And that's the point. We're all crazy, right? All humans, right? Some cultures or sections of America, other countries, due to factors, might be more crazy or do more crazy things. But we are all crazy. And this is why we're having a problem with the way cops are allowed to police in New York and many other cities now. New York, these cops are probably afraid to police to some degree, especially being that from what I've seen, you had all races and cultures at this giveaway scam, because I'm calling it a scam, because I don't even know how many damn PS5s he gave away. So you did have all races and cultures there, but there was a lot of Black and Spanish people there. And, cops are afraid to police in general currently, let alone, of course, there's even more, hesitance when it comes down to things like that. This isn't like the George Floyd riots where it was like 70% white people, So what was the excuse for not choke slamming them idiots? But, but this is the problem. The city's on fire and the cops, what can they do? First of all, what can you do when you decrease the amount of police on the street because you're trying to, I don't know, look less authoritarian or look like you're easing up that side of things? It is less to deal with in the first place. Tens of thousands of people showed up for this shit. That's number one. Number two, they're hesitant to do anything because they might get reprimanded for actually quelling and calming down these riots. This ain't no protest, right? There's no argument for a protest here. There are protests. This wasn't a protest. This was a giveaway that went crazy. People started rioting, destroying shit, Low income definitely does play a part in it, but it also isn't everything. Exactly, 100%. Imagine reading this in a history file on your school tablet as a youngster. PS5, right. And that's where we are, bro. We're at this crazy, point in history where enough people are going to get their shit together or we're literally going to be Fifth Element. We're already on the way. If anybody ever seen the movie The Fifth Element, some people love it, some don't from back in the day, but we're flying. We're flying to the Fifth Element. Wealth, health, love, it's 1/3 of the equation, maybe a bit more. 100%, brother, 100%. I've been low income and want to think for a second to show up to something like that and then participate. I just wouldn't have a PS5. Yeah, I don't know. If I was 21 in New York in this era, I might look at it differently. We're also quite older than these kids, right? So our mentality is different. But it depends. I don't know. I don't know if I would have or not. Comedy. I'm still on PS3. Oh yeah, bro. I remember my dad brought me home a Genesis with 35 games 4 years after it came out that he bought off some crackhead for like $22 or some shit. Hopefully it wasn't for a blowjob. I don't know, you know what I mean? If I don't get my shit together, I'll have a new Xbox. The problem is too many kids being able to walk to a huge gathering is one of the big. Yeah. Well, that's it, right? With like, it's one thing if you say free giveaway in a place that doesn't have such a high population density. But if you say free giveaway PS5s, and think about his audience, bro. This kid's 21. His entire audience, for the most part, is probably like 14 to 25, right? So it's all young kids for the most part, right? Like I said, 30 underage kids were detained, 65 arrests, 30 of them were underage kids from what I understand. Arrest, detained, same thing. No, it's arrested for the moment, even if you're not charged with anything. But the overlaying issue here is the fact that cops are a little more handcuffed in how they could police nowadays. And I'm going to say it again. I don't want it to be like it was in the 90s and the early 2000s because I dealt with a lot of shit then because of the policing tactics at that point. But you don't want to say Giuliani had a point because of the abuse, but we got to find something better than this. Kids can't outnumber the adults. Ever go to Disney as two parents? It only takes one kid more than adults, and it's a problem. No, you're right. You're 100% right, bro. And then imagine when you have, 10,000, and most, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was at least 10,000 people that showed up there. It had to be. They say it says he's 5'4", but he's really like 4'7" or something along those lines. Look, my man, you see that right there? Every car he has, right? Not even truck, cars. He needs a little stool put in. It's hard out here. Look at my man. Look at this dude. You happy? You happy that you shut down the city and caused 30 underage kids to get detained and caused a young girl not to breathe? You happy? You shut down the city, bro? This is a good thing, you little dweeb, you little talentless, little dwarf-ass munchkin mess. Look, this is him right here. This is Kai. See, he's getting help right there. He's going to give a little mini 5, get help down. Who's out here bucking off high caliber weapons and then getting help down? Oh, come here, little side. Oh, you want to get that? Oh, you get that little. Oh, look at the little dwarf. He a little happy dwarf. Oh, look at the little custom step stool into his Corolla. This son of a bitch. Look at this punk, man. Look at this little punk. This little punk Kai Cenat. Look at him smiling. Little girls can't breathe. City property, regular civilian stores getting destroyed. And it's Union Square, right? There's some chintzy or high-end stuff, Union Square, but there's also a lot of regular ass mom and pop shit going on. There's some mom and pop stuff, but put it like this: it's not Saks Fifth Ave. You know what I mean? It's not Gucci. It's not Prada. It's regular stores. It's it's regular little fruit markets and shit like that are getting terrorized and losing business and property getting destroyed. So it's regular people getting affected by this, right? I have a lot less compassion when I see the rich. Like during COVID, like there was like the Prada and a Gucci store. And yeah, it's never good to riot and destroy property. But I have a lot less, empathy for Gucci than I do some Chinese dude trying to sell some apples at Union Square. You know what I mean? So look at this little cocky dwarf, man. They should have captured the demi-human and made him smith a magical blade for him. Yeah. The Lord of the Rings crew should have walked in and took him out. The only way to make sure that attention doesn't continue to be a dangerous commodity is they have to make an example out of him. We have to figure out, right? And you hate to, because I'm not a right-wing guy, right? But I'm a little more right-wing than I was in the past because the left wing is out of their mind. And you hate to make it always, the political, but you have to think about the fact if this wasn't in a liberal city, an extremely liberal city like New York, especially, where they've literally handcuffed the cops, pun not intended or intended, whatever the hell you want to say, but they've handcuffed the cops from doing their job, and police brutality, should never be celebrated or warranted even, right? But the police have to be able to do their job. If we don't nip in the bud this trend of not allowing police to do their job, you're just gonna end up having situations like this more. If we don't nip in the bud this trend of attention being a commodity, whether negative or positive, and that commodity actually turns to paper now. It's like back in the day, attention was always somewhat of a commodity, but now you can turn that attention to paper, and more than anything, dopamines, immediate dopamines. And it's gonna destroy society. We're seeing it little by little. As we're getting more civilized, we're gonna start regressing. Right? There's those statistics that say we're the safest the world's ever been. And I believe that is true in many facets, but it's not going to remain that way if we keep trending this direction. Now, you can't ban them from social media, though, because even Trump, who I'm not a fan of, really shouldn't have been banned from social media. Can't ban people from speaking, right? You can't ban. I'm not with the free, the speech ban in almost any capacity ever. But what he did caused laws to be broken. So now you have to figure out what laws were broken, what you can prove in the court of law, and you got to make an example out of them. And that's the only way that this gets rectified and doesn't happen again. Love everybody. Appreciate everybody. See things the way they're meant to be seen. Don't be biased. Let's have conversation. Let's try to make it better, not worse. Love, love. Real talk, shit talk, episode 2. Appreciate y'all.